So, the topic that I wanted to talk about is this hidden magic of music, frequency alchemy. Why certain chords invoke certain emotions and can actually heal your nervous system. So, we already discussed why music is healing, but I kind of wanted to go a little bit into nerdy details. I wanted to get into nerdy details. So, this chord right here, actually, this chord right here, this is called C. And I heard this in a Billie Eilish song, and I was like, yo, let me steal that. So, I decided to steal like an artist and take this chord and go. And I realized I can picture just like a calming sunset. I can picture golden hour lighting. I can feel calm. I feel nostalgia. And I realize like I feel memories being made. Prince talked about learning guitar is the hardest instrument to learn because it's very frustrating because of all the strings and all the different ways, and you gotta have some strength in your fingers. But I realize guitar is my favorite instrument. Regardless of what instrument you use, I kind of want to keep playing it, bruh. Am I crazy that I want to keep playing it? I love the guitar because of the harmonics that I create. I create a sick harmonic that goes really well with my voice. I'm considered a high tenor, and so I have a lot of range. I can sing really low notes and super, super high notes. And because I have that ability, I feel like the instruments that serve me the best is guitars. I want to create a really acoustic sound that brings people memories. So, in old people with Alzheimer's and people who have dementia, a lot of them don't even remember the names of their children. A lot of people don't even remember the names of their children. They don't remember the names of themselves barely. They barely even remember how to speak sometimes. But there's one curious facet of human psychology that keeps popping up whenever people have Alzheimer's. They remember a song. They remember music. They remember the lyrics. They remember the melody. They remember the rhythm. And one funny scientific thing is that when you know how to dance to a song, you're 70% less likely to develop dementia when you dance. Dancing lowers your risk of dementia by 70%. Isn't that insane, guys? Now, why do chords affect humans so well? Because ever since the Stone Age, humans have had music, and music has been a way for us to communicate before we even had language. In fact, birds have music, they have melody, they speak a language. Music is a language that transcends linguistics. It transcends words. It's the oldest form of communication. It's the oldest form of connection that living things have. And this isn't just a mammalian thing. This is a thing with all life. All life transcends from frequency. And so certain chords invoke different frequencies. And I'm not going to go into detail on which chord does which, because that's not what we're talking about. I just wanted to really discuss the fact that chords actually can change your mindset. So, what I encourage you to endeavor upon and remark upon mentally is to consider what music you're listening to. Instead of listening to an NBA Youngboy song, nothing wrong with some Youngboy while you're working out. Put on a Young Samari song. Put on some Samari. You know what I'm saying? Play some Down Bad. Who works out with R&B? Do any of you guys work out with some good R&B music? So you're telling me when I dance to my songs with my friends, you're lowering percentages? Yes. When you're dancing to a song with your friends, you're lowering your risk of Alzheimer's, and you're increasing your memory, you're increasing your neurological your nervous system's ability to have coordination, have multidimensional thinking, problem solving, And in addition to that, also you're increasing neuroplasticity, which is directly tied to your IQ, which is your capacity to understand something, and the quality of life in general. It makes you more creative, intelligent, emotionally intelligent, social, and you live longer and you have stronger memory. And therefore, when you have better memory, time slows down. Memory is directly tied to time speeding up and time slowing down. You notice when you were 6 years old, it took for like a month felt like a year. But then when you're a lot older, it just seems like time's flying by faster. It's not because it has to be that way. It's simply because you're not training memory. That's why learning skills like playing an instrument like piano, guitar, violin, or dancing to music and learning choreography or speaking another language, it slows down time to the point where you feel like a kid again. I feel the exact same way right now as I did when I was 6 years old. In fact, I feel better right now than I did at 6 years old. Completely. I'm loving life. Life is colorful. Every day I'm learning something new, and every day I just feel smarter. Your brain has the ability, has so much information. You can learn every language on earth, and it wouldn't even match 1% of the capacity of everything you could have in your brain. Your brain is capable of knowing damn near everything. It has so much memory. More basically almost the equivalent of like the biggest supercomputer at NASA. Like you can create a little universe in your mind. But that's off topic. My point is, chords and music is the most primal thing, the most core to your soul, to your spirit that you can possibly have. And so, choose your music wisely. That's why I pinned right here on the chat my song Cortisol. It's gonna relieve your nervous system. I designed this song both spiritually using magic and scientifically using data and research to literally use HemiSync to lower your neurological level of cortisol. Cortisol is my name of my song, and the purpose of this record is to lower the amount of stress that you have. Because when you're stressed out, when you're around a negative person that's always saying, be realistic, and they're low key hating on you, or they're making fun of you, or they're saying something negative, or you're around a toxic relationship, or you're around bad people, they give you cortisol and they stress you out. So that's why I had to break up with my ex, because she kept raising my cortisol, and that ages you. Thankfully, I still look like I'm 19. But if I would have stayed with her, I would have already had gray hair looking like Biden. By the time I would have already looked like Biden by now if I would have stayed with my ex. And so it's important to make sure that you're consuming the right things, you're protecting your environment, you're getting good sleep, you're working out, you're setting big goals, you're working towards your work every day. So what does country music do? Oh, country music is the second best music. The best music is R&B music, like my music. My music's the best, and you should listen to it more than every other music. And then you have country music, and that's good too. But of course, my music's better. Now, that being said, it is also one thing that the government has studied. HemiSync is the idea of taking one frequency and taking a frequency and playing it on each side of your ears and quite literally affecting your subconscious mind. It's a way of mind control. And so chords can affect mind control. No, Slim, I didn't say that. I'm saying my music's the best. Then she likes country music, and so she can like country music. There's nothing wrong with that. But she has to love my music more. That's all. That's what I said. And so the CIA uses chords and music. They literally use music. They use sound whenever they're interrogating people, whenever they're creating operations. Psychology is heavily linked with music. Music is the most popular thing that humans have had. So